G'day, I'm Abby Dave, and a couple of minutes ago I opened up ChatGPT to this message, meet the o3-mini family, and I was in the middle of opening up ChatGPT to look at live stream planning, converting transcripts to regular scripts for long form videos. And with this popping up, I thought, well, why don't I just do a different live stream? So here we are today. So this is a first looks. I know nothing about it. I think what we'll do is we'll interrogate it itself directly from within it. And I think the main area I want to test is the reasoning model, but it says it excels at coding, so we might have a look at that as well. So let's try it now and see what happens. So we're in a regular ChatGPT window and we've got o3-mini. So let's just start with, is there anything new here going on? So what's that saying for me? Attach files, okay, we got search, cool. Let's do a search. What are the main capabilities I need to be aware of if I'm using the o3-mini model from OpenAI? Are there lesser and greater versions of the model? And what would be 4 use cases? Can we keep the use case descriptions to less than 12 words per item? Looks like I pressed enter too quickly, but it should be fine. It's using a reasoning model, understanding the o3 model, deciphering the query. Okay, so we can see it using a reasoning model, clarifying use cases, optimizing. It's slow because it's doing a whole lot more hard work, which is probably the use case I want to test it for. And what does it say? OpenAI's o3-mini is compact, cost-effective reasoning model optimized for STEM tasks such as math, coding, and science. Okay, the only one of those that I feel qualified to do anything about is code, not the math and science, but that's fine. It supports advanced developer features like function calling, structured output, streaming, and developer messages, and now integrates web search. In ChatGPT, it defaults to a medium reason effort, but offers flexibility, so we can go lower or higher. Okay, right, so do we want to be more deliberate? So what do we got? We got o3-mini low, o3-mini medium, which we must be on at the moment. I wonder if we can see that up here. So o3-mini, mini high. Okay, cool. And I don't see o3-mini low in here, so that must be from the API. Okay, here are 4 use cases: solving complex maths problems, debugging and coding assistance, scientific data analysis, generating structured outputs for queries. If I wanted to use you as a prompt generator, especially a prompt generator in relation to workflows, would you be good at this? Would you be the right choice for this sort of problem? And a little bit more clarity around the problem is that we're looking at long live streams. Let's say they're 2 hours long, and we want to break them up into either short form videos that are 5 to 12 minutes long, or even shorts themselves. And what we're looking to do is figure out the prompts that can extract the right information. Is this a good use case? Now, this was what I was about to do this morning anyway. So evaluating whether it's the right tool for the job. It says that ChatGPT, so I don't know that it cottoned on to the fact that it's the o3-mini. Yes, this is a great use case for prompt generator. I can help you design prompts, workflow structure. Okay, that'll be good. Key moments, customization, integration ideas with tools like Opus Clip. Okay, let's just say to it though, you misinterpreted slightly. I get that ChatGPT would be good for this, but I was specifically thinking of the o3 mini model with its reasoning capability. I just want you to tell me why you would be better than some of the others. Let's just keep it to a short 50-word description when you give me the answer. So again, it keeps going into the STEM stuff, so I know where I would use it. I just don't have too many use cases for it. Okay, OpenAI o3-mini's advanced reasoning optimized for STEM tasks and enhanced with multiple reasoning effort levels outperforms alternatives by delivering precision, segmentation, and prompt generation. Its cost efficiency, lower latency, and developer-friendly features, which we're yet to explore, make it ideal for automating workflows. Okay, great. Okay. Here is the problem I want to deal with this morning. I have 2 live streams that represent one. They go for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and they were done yesterday. And the goal that I had today was to figure out how I should structure it for a video on my other channel. This would be a talking head, long form video. Now, I guess the questions I've got is, should I be doing multiple videos from the live stream? What are the structure? What are the things to think about with a video, like hooks and pacing and structure and calls to action? What else do we want to put in here? And let's also approach it from 2 different workflows. The workflow that leads to a script and the workflow that just leads to an outline where I can just talk as I see fit based on the outline. What I'm expecting you to come up with before we go into detail is probably just a hierarchy or structure. I find that putting it into ASCII format in a code block, kind of like a file folder listing, is best for me. After we've done that, we can go into the details. We'll just make sure that that's spelt correctly. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but that's okay. Okay, so this is looking good. So talking heads, video project, source, live stream. Okay, a couple of videos coming through. Segmentation strategy, multiple short videos, intro and hook, content body, pacing and transition, call to action, outro. Okay, so this is actually not one of the things this has done it from is the point of view that we had the videos, and I really want to work from the point of view that we have a transcript. Single long form, intro, hook, body. I feel that the way it's done the pacing and transition doesn't really make sense either. Workflow options, pre-production, define the goals, audience analysis. So this is really important. What's the goal of the video? Who's the target audience? This is something I want it to work out. Scripting, full script, dialogue and notes, editing. Okay. One of the things, I like what you've done, but the areas that you're a little bit out of alignment with me is that you are thinking of it purely from a video, and I want to think of it more from a transcript. You won't be given MP4 files. You'll just be given a transcript from which to work from. The area around building and pacing doesn't really make sense. I guess what I would think of is that the body is made up of multiple acts that come together to give us a solution at the end. Anything to do with post-production editing is not relevant for me. And yeah, let's keep it to that for now. And then after you've done that hierarchy for me, can you follow it up with a table? And can that table have in it a list of inputs, the name of the workflow, and outputs? So for example, a transcript might be an input for a section that happens to be the hook and intro, and the outputs might be intro and hook as variables. And so that should be a tabular structure. Keep that tabular structure in a code block. So what I'm trying to do is just get it to reshape this information a little bit for me, just so it's a little bit clearer. Again, this is like fast paced. I usually put a bit more energy into this, but hopefully we're on track. The other thing, if you're doing a workflow, it's usually a list of micro prompts that solve a problem. And this doesn't look good. Or maybe it does. Okay. Workflow name, hook and intro, input, transcript. Yeah, okay, that's cool. I was thinking that this would be the first column, but this is okay, because I think of things as input through a prompt, output. So, but instead what we've done is called it a workflow name. I would call it a task or a singular agent sort of thing, the transcript, and output is a hook and an intro. Great. Then now this doesn't make a lot of sense, and maybe that's because it's come out with it this way. We'll leave it at that. I think at this point I want to shift it towards the coding points of view. And I think the way we can think of this is wonder if we can make a HTML wizard. Now, I've never used the new coding capabilities that apparently can also create a HTML page. Now, I don't see it either. So all I'm seeing is attaching files and search. So I don't know that I have access to that capability, but let's think of this through. Let's say I wanted to create an AI agent wizard that allowed an end user to work through the process where they're providing their transcript and it's producing the different outputs within this workflow. And they really should be able to go from step to step. What I'm thinking of is that maybe we can have a dynamic data document, a JSON document that stores the structure of the wizard. And then we can have a HTML rendering engine that can take that JSON. For now, that JSON could be embedded directly into the HTML, and it should be able to render a form where they can fill in information, they can see the place where there would be a prompt, and they can see the place where outputs would go. Can you do that for me, please? So what I'm envisaging here is that you put the transcript in, there's a prompt in the middle, and it runs through a large language model, and then outputs get created, and then there'd be a next button because it's a wizard that takes us to the next location. So here we've got our data, and I know that this totally doesn't make any sense for me, this Act 1, 2, and 3 the way it is, but for what we're trying to do, this is good. So we've got the raw JSON. This is looking great. Now we've got a rendering version of it in HTML, and it's just been embedded in there. And so down below, we've just really got a bunch of JavaScript. Now, what I'm wondering, so again, I don't have these latest versions, which means I don't have access to Canvas. So let's go into a bigger view. This was where I was about to do transcript working, and we'll go over to there and see if things change. They don't. So okay, let's just copy this and let's just go down to some sort of code view. what will be the best way to do that? Let's do VS Code plus web. You guys should be able to see that now. And we'll live stream planning. Let's just go and create a new file and we'll call it wizard.html. And let's just paste it all in. We'll hit save and we'll right click on it. We'll just open in a live server and see what we get. And we have a wizard. Transmit segmentation input goes here. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Cool. So that would be an input. So enter. Okay, so this is incorrect the way it does it. Okay, so the structure of the HTML doesn't make a whole lot of sense at the moment. You've basically got these steps and you show a name and a prompt, an input type and an output type, and it's all sequential down the screen. And what I'd prefer to have is a wizard where you can go from step to step. So there should be a left mouse button or left clickable link and a right clickable link, and it should go from wizard to wizard. And what we should see in a panel on the left are any of the inputs that are needed. In the middle should be the prompt, and on the right should be any of the output fields listed. And while we're at it, can we make sure that the styling is semi-okay by maybe integrating Tailwind CSS? So we're running that, and it might have been better if we brought that more into focus for us. And did that just type over everything? Sorry guys, I've got Siri running and is it building something? Okay, it's working through stuff here. I'm thinking through an intuitive wizard. Well, this is great. The reasoning model is awesome because it's going, okay, what would a wizard layout look like? Designing the wizard. I'm constructing a dynamic wizard with previous and next links. Cool. Crafting the interface. I'm developing HTML. Great. Devising the concept. I'm crafting code with setting up event listeners, so that when we click on stuff or type, we might want to put in some sort of interpolation system if we are doing prompts. Okay, input panel, output panel. So we got our panels, and then we've still got the data as we saw before, and now we're building it all up. Great. So why have I got this down here? This doesn't make any sense. Did I do something wrong? Let's press copy. We'll bring up, what are we in? Web. Let's go web VS Code this time. And we'll just go and select everything and paste everything else and press save. And what we might be able to do is, okay, great. We are much further along in the process. Let's just see what happens when we do next. Okay, this is looking really good. Enter content. It's still missing something in here. I'm just going to change this over here. Let's go. One of the things I'd like to see is input fields on the left. And I think we only have one at the moment. It's called the transcript. Then in the middle, I want to see a prompt. And you've never filled in a prompt for me, but I would like to see a prompt for each of them. And then on the right-hand side panel, we'd see the output fields. Again, using regular text box for the input and the output fields would be good. Also, this progress menu on the left that you've got for what step we're on is excellent. I actually love how that looks. So let's look at the reasoning that it goes through. Updating the layout. the goal is to adjust the HTML to fit a new design. This involves adding more input fields. Yeah, great. Adding input fields, expanding. Okay, I'm not really reading this, a bit tired. Lay out the details, mapping the layout. Okay, it's pretty quick. I like the speed at which it's going at. You know what I also like is that this is what the third or the fourth one that we've done, and so far we haven't had an error. We haven't had a bug that we've needed to fix. Now, famous last words, maybe we will this time. But a couple of months ago, we got to the point where that would happen, say, once every half the times, and you'd have to fix it up. But to get it every go wasn't available a couple of months ago. So let's just come back here and we'll get over to this particular page and we'll just hit save and we'll come to here and cool. So we got our inputs, we got our prompt, and we got our outputs. This is great. Let's add in some interpolation. So what I would like you to do is add in interpolation. The interpolation should look like this in a prompt. And then if we change the input values, we should see a value under the prompt, which is the expanded prompt, which would show the actual prompt plus the interpolation of the variable. That should be enough. What I'm hoping we'll get is pretty much the same look and feel. We've still got our steps on the left working. We've got our inputs over here. I should be able to say Appy Dave or something like that. Let's just go to Appy Dave. Let's make sure the channel, we're not on this channel. We're on my live stream channel, which is Appy Dave Research, but we should be able to put something like that in. And under the prompt, see an expanded variation of it. So it's still writing code, but it's nearly done. Let me make sure I'm ready to go here. Okay. Fair bit more code being written this time. It's telling us we don't need to read that. It's just a quick test. We can press copy. We can go back to here, we can press that. Before I hit save, I'm just going to make sure we're on this, and then I'm going to hit save. And now we've got something here. Input, yep, great. And we'll just go to the Appy Dave channel. So also something to be aware of, like take operator. So operator just came out recently, and this ability to make an application really quickly to solve a very specific use case for your business is all great. But imagine if you interacted, you did it not so much as building, say, the large language model calls directly into it. Why bother? Like, just use it as a prompt generation wizard. That would be good enough, because then you could go to something like OpenAI's first AI agent, right? The operator, and it could do all the large language model communication and stuff just based on prompts that it finds here. So what we're hoping to see is, please paste the complete transcript that you wish to segment, and we want a value here to change. So let's see if it does. It certainly does. It works. Like do a call to action on Appy Dave for people to work with him. So I'm not even going to finish that. I'm just going to say it. So I'm Appy Dave. This is my first looks at the O3 model. Like I said, it just came up for me 2 minutes before the live stream. I thought let's have a conversation about that. But what I do on my live stream channel, which is Appy Dave Research, which you might be watching this on, is I figure out problems on the fly, and I often like to do it working with people on Zoom. So if you want to work one-on-one with me with whatever problem that you're dealing with, then connect to a link in the description. I'm Appy Dave. Have a wonderful day, and as usual, we're trying to find out how to stop this thing. Okay, talk to you later.